is we want to see the cell groups mobilize, the relationships. Amen. We want to see relationships. We want to see, right, people, right, beginning to relate to each other. So we need to build relationships. And so, right, even your workplace is relationships. Amen. You got to earn the right to talk. You need to build relationships. Amen. Do something, right? Take your boss out for lunch or something. The guy maybe freak out. Amen. Do something. Take, right, home, wherever. Amen. I'm not asking you to take me out for lunch. Okay. The second thing is about trust. You see, friends, in a team, right, there must be trust. Amen. And trust, right, really is a result of relationship. Amen. If there's no relationship, there cannot be a trust. And that's what we need to build trust. You see, right, in that story of the 3 monkeys and the seesaw, what was the issue? They didn't trust each other. If 2 of them stood here and one fellow went up there, he would have caught the banana and he would have run with the banana. Right? And so, really, right, there was a breakdown in relationships in the 3 monkeys. Because they didn't trust each other. And listen, if we want to build a good team, we need to trust each other. If there were instances in our life, there was a betrayal of trust, we need to begin to release forgiveness. Amen. Because God gives everybody a second chance. The third thing is we need to have a realization. What kind of realization do we need to have? Parable of the finger. That every person is important. Bright is almost finishing. Bright is one of our missions partner in Nigeria. He's almost finishing his Bible school. And one of the things Bright always tells us is one of the things we learn from you guys is everybody is important. We need to realize, friends, listen, everyone is important. Amen. And listen, another realization that we need to have is we need to realize is that we need each other. We cannot live independently. Amen. Parable of the finger. Finger decides to step out. I'm sick and tired of you guys. Always, it's I that gets the hurt. You make the mistake, I get the hurt. And the guy just walks out at the Summit Bowling Alley. That's where I fell. Enough of this. Enough of this. Amen. What happens? Live independently. It's over for him. Amen. He may think, right, temporary solution. But for him, the permanent solution, he's dead. And listen, that's God has structured us that we need each other. To help each other, encourage one another. Realization, the fourth, D. D stands for resolving conflicts. Listen, by the way, there is no conflict-free world. Is that a revelation? What do you guys think? Amen. Listen, there's no such thing as no conflict. So you can forget about that. If you want to have no conflict, ask God to take you home to heaven. Hello? Every endeavor, the family. Family is because everybody knows each other. We know how to pickle each other. You can say one thing, everybody gets upset. So family, workplace, no conflict. How many of you got no conflict in your workplace? Nobody, yeah? How many of you, Pastor, what is the meaning of conflict? I've never experienced conflict before. All of us, right? And listen, we need to get this in our head because even in church, right, is there conflict? Hello? When you put 2 people together, they will argue about something. Whatever the 2 people may be. When I was in England studying, one of the, in our 3rd year, right, a few of us Christian guys, right, decided to, stay together. So there was one Canadian guy, there was me, Malaysian, there was a Scottish guy, and there was a Welsh guy. All quite committed Christians, but living together. Oh, yo. When you live together, then you begin to know how it is difficult, right? And so, Scottish guy, right, wants his meals on time, with soup, main course, and dinner, and dessert. Man, we all students, right, want soup, main course, and dinner. And then, right, one day we decided, the person that comes back late, that's the meal. So everybody came back late, no meal. The Welsh guy, he had the guy never brushed his teeth. And then, right, my Canadian friend, he was doing his PhD in quantum physics. Quantum physics, whatever that means. And, he was in a different realm. Molecules and, and he began, and I had the privilege of sharing the room with him. And, at night, his conversation starts after 10 o'clock. Quantum physics, equations. And at 10 o'clock, man, I want to hit the bed. And he had a problem because my clock, tick, 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 irritated his mind. And so, after, 1 year, we got rid of the Scottish guy. You see, friends, listen, we've got to resolve conflicts. Listen, if, here this morning, we're going to serve communion shortly. Deal with the conflict. If you're upset with someone, in your place of work, man, listen, I've told one of my bosses, when I was working in TNB, I just thought that I was not, the way I reacted was not appropriate. And so the next day when he came, he didn't deserve this because he's not a very nice person. Anybody be upset with is not nice, right? So anyway, the Lord said, son, you know what you need to do. And so when he came in the next day, we were punching, and guess who punches the same time that I punched? God set me up. And then I looked at him and I said, I'm really sorry for the way I reacted yesterday. The guy almost freaked out. Listen, let's sort this out. Conflicts, here, home, just deal with it. Just say we're sorry. Why? Because we need to resolve conflicts. Listen, when you resolve conflicts, listen, you can come, if any of you got any conflict with anybody, workplace or anywhere, or church, come and see the church leadership. Then we'll help you. We will be like a mediator. Listen, there was times when someone were upset with me. There was a few years ago. And I got one of my leaders to be a mediator to sort this out. Amen. And just apologize and release. No problem, right? Teamwork, conflict. In your workplace, when you have meetings, there can be conflicts. But let it not be personal. E, for commitment. Listen, team is about commitment. It's not just about coming. It's about commitment. Can I hear an amen? Amen. We've got to make a commitment. Even in church, it's a commitment to each other. It's a commitment I make to Jeb, and Jeb makes to me. It's a commitment, that we make to each other. Amen. And with that commitment, comes responsibility. Can I hear an amen? The most important human team is the family. And they make a commitment, husband and wife. Just recently, Eugene and Emily, got married. They exchange their vows. It's a commitment that they're making for life. Till death us do part. And as a result of that commitment, they begin to build a relationship. And so team, the characteristic of Jesus' team is commitment. We stand with each other. Listen, we do not use people for our own purposes. Amen. People are not here. Everybody's precious. As a church, we've got a vision. But listen, we do not use people for our own purposes, whether it's business or whatever area, whether it's family or workplace. Amen. You may be a boss, even your place of work, or you may be a team member. Don't use people. Amen. Why? Because it's a commitment that we are making. Why? Because we realize, that each one of us is important. A commitment. Amen. Next, F is accountability. A team, another characteristic of a team is there must be accountability. We are accountable to each other. Amen. We must be accountable to each other. I'm going to stop here. We're going to serve communion, then we'll continue this second part. I'll run through the points with you, then we will spend a bit more time the next time. We need to be accountable with each other. Listen, team, accountable, right? Hello? Good morning. Accountable. One guy make mistake, all of us suffer. Amen. Man, the parable of the finger, the guy makes a mistake, this guy gets hurt, and everybody, is trying to help each other out. Amen. Right hand is trying to help the left hand to push the gear. Little finger, man, this small fella is trying to help to carry the bag. He's trying to help. At least he's trying to help. Trying to do his part to help. So there needs to be accountability. G, participation. Everyone needs to participate. Listen, the Church of Jesus Christ is about participation. Can I hear an amen? Everyone involved. Everyone has a gifting. Every one of us, need to be positioned. Every one of us need to do something. If Johnny, a 19-year-old Down syndrome boy, can do something, you can do something. Think of something that you can do for the family. Think of something that you can do for the workplace and in the church.